Hey everybody, welcome to What Drives Us, episode 308 for February 20th, 2019. My name is Russell Frost. I am your host for this week's adventure into car stuff. We're just going to say car stuff this week because I'm easy. So it is wonderful to be back. Let's introduce the panel and get this show on the road. My co-host, no, he's not embarrassing because I love the Blackhawks. But I was going to say embarrassingly in red, but he's not. There's nothing wrong with that. There you go. I had a Blackhawk sweater when I was a wee tot that I loved for many, many years. Mr. Tony Schaefer.
Hey, everybody. Hey, everyone in the chat room who's already out there. Thanks for swinging by and spending some time with us. Tonight, I have a special brew from Only Child, my favorite local craft brewery.
Only Child beer drinking glass now?
I do. So let me tell you, I have the Only Child glass. I won it playing beer bingo. Only Child does beer bingo on Tuesday nights. I'm drinking what they call Evil Tendencies, which is a dry hopped IPA with a hint of peaches. It is absolutely delicious, made only better by the fact that I won it last night playing bingo. So
you won the glass and you won the beer.
Bingo.
Oh, I have a shirt that matches. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why I'm apparently old now. I look forward to Tuesdays when I can go play bingo. The difference is I'm drinking beer and eating pizza and winning beer paraphernalia. It's a lot of fun. If you have a brewery that plays bingo, you need to go to the brewery and play bingo. It really is a lot of fun.
There you go. Well, a recommendation from Tony Schaefer. Go to your local brewery and play bingo, even if they don't. You go and play bingo and demand prizes. Because what the hell, man? What the hell?
Are you on Untapped?
Yeah. Well, next to him on my screen, the man with the most romantic lighting on the show, our friend in Canada, where it is a balmy minus something or another, I'm sure, Mr. Mark Coughlin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. And what brewery plays bingo?
Are you kidding me? There's like 4 or 5 around me.
What the hell is that? Like, really?
Timers to come out.
It is so a thing. I'm telling you.
Tony, are you the youngest person that's at the bingo for the brewery?
You know what? I would say I am, except you're allowed to bring your pets, and I'm pretty sure that most of them are younger than I am.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Dude, it's a riot. I can't believe I'm catching shit for this.
Yes, you are.
Oh,
but that's okay because it's totally unfair, and that's what Drives Us is all about. And speaking of unfair, our friend in South Carolina, he drives a Model X and all sorts of other things. Mr. Casey Green.
What's up? So I learned how to use ludicrous mode for the first time this weekend.
In your car?
In my car. Or not ludicrous mode, launch mode in ludicrous mode. And I made it. It was awesome.
I bet it was.
Now, can you do summons in ludicrous mode?
Yes. My car doesn't leave ludicrous mode.
That'd be a good hack.
Unless it's in valet mode. But yeah, it's like, in ludicrous mode.
That's like Batmobile ludicrous mode, where he like summons the car and it comes screeching around the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe with advanced summon.
Can you imagine? Yeah, no. There's that level of trust. I'm not sure I would ever have in any manufactured product. Like for screaming tires to come rocketing at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Today I'm drinking Diet Fanta and Coke Zero.
Yeah, baby. Same here. Same here. Well, last and definitely not least, our technical champion, the founder of Boulder Hybrids at boulderhc.com, Mr. Paul Guzik.
Good to be back. And this week I do have beer again. Yay.
Yay. But did you get it at bingo?
I did get it at bingo. But it is a New Belgium Citradelic Tangerine IPA. It's one of my faves. And it's all good.
Nice.
He got it at beer pong.
Nice.
And I'm not having to blow a Prius.
Title.
I'm sorry. Did you say blow a? I don't even. Why would I even ask?
No, it's a couple weeks ago. I had a car with a breathalyzer interlocked.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
I had to move it, and you cannot have a beer and then start the car.
Yeah, that
that's
would
the
be
problem.
Without
bad.
blowing into a tube. Well, no, if you blow in the tube after having a beer, all kinds of alarms go off and it bricks the car and blah,
And the police
And
show up.
then
Yeah.
they explain to the parole officer.
they take your
Right.
license away. And,
Yeah,
Hey, Paul. Paul,
Yes,
I
sir.
got this for you, right here
Oh,
at Liquid Mechanics Brewing, 297
That's
North
right.
Highway 287.
I've never been there, but it's not far away from here.
There you go. Bingo at the brewery, right there, mother.
tomorrow night.
And
Yes.
it's the place is named Liquid Mechanics. So.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
remember to bring your senior's card.
You got that AARP card out first. You get 2 beers. Ooh.
Yes. It's an IPAARP.
So what are the prizes? Like you get a free hip replacement or something? Or-
Hey, I'd line up for that. Can I put that on my way?
Yeah. I might use that someday. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
blow
someday.
the. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I don't think I'm gonna blow. Well, let's. What do you say we talk about some news? Is that okay?
All right. Why not?
Sounds
I
good.
know. It's not as much fun as beer, but we don't do an alcohol show anymore. And for those of you who haven't watched this show forever, we actually used to do a show called What Drives Us to Drink, all about alcohol. It was a lot of fun. We got drunk every show. First
I
up,
remember some of them.
speaking of drunk every show, I have to wonder about this guy, the CEO of this car company, this guy named Elon Musk. Now, number one, I've noticed a bunch of stuff. This is fan related. It's obviously not like created by Tesla, but referring to Elon Musk as OL apostrophe Muskie. Now, if I'm Elon, my attorneys are stopping that shit immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Old Muskie. That's not what this news story is about. Elon, you may recall, had a little battle with the Securities Exchange Commission, who said that he was supposed to bring in a new chairman of the board and not be chairman of the board anymore, and that allegedly someone in Tesla corporate was supposed to review all of his tweets on Twitter to make sure that they didn't violate the terms of the agreement, which was that he wasn't going to tweet bullshit anymore.
Or material information for the stock.
Thank you very much. Elon did one little oopsie, said that he was going to produce 500,000 cars in 2019, which he clarified to say he meant an annualized rate of 500,000 cars by the end of there, which actually is closer to 400,000, which is what they're predicting, although that ain't written in stone either, kids. Arguably a violation of that SEC.
Pesky SEC keeps getting in the way.
I'm sorry, Tony?
So that pesky SEC keeps getting in the way.
I know. It's just, you want to have fun. You want to run a car company. You want to make cool cars. And somebody with damn laws gets in your way.
Right.
Look, jokes aside, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with somebody having fun. The other side of that is how many times is Elon going to push this? To what end? Who is he serving here? By tweeting bullshit, by stuff that he can't back up and that is almost always wrong, and not get accused of trying to pump up the stock or affect the market, which with 22 million followers, guess what, Elon? People actually listen to what you say and what you tweet. And speaking of what you say, Elon was on a show this week with ARK Investments, have a weekly investment show. ARK Investments talks about cool investments and things like that. Elon was on the show and talked about how full self-driving was going to be available, was going to be operational by the end of this year. Now, those darn regulators might hold it back until 2020. Who those regulators are and where they exist and in what universe regulators hold somebody back from rolling something like that out at a national level, it doesn't exist. It's made up. the idea that he's I just, we've been down this road with full self-driving back and forth. And honestly, like, how bright do you have to be to just go, I'm just not going to say anything about full self-driving until it's ready, because of that SEC thing. And because instead he says it's there. And again, is the idea to pump up the stock? Is the idea to do what? I don't really understand. If Elon is half as smart as people say he is, why does he do these things?
He certainly doubled down in the podcast. Like, man, like he said, I am without doubt that it will be available by the end of this year, because he gets updated it on it weekly. He said that he is receiving information about it every week, and he certainly sounds absolutely sure that it's going to be ready.
He's got a prototype board in his car, and he's got the unlock software. And he says that functionally complete on the software developer side. So, I mean, he did used to do a little bit of software development, but...
I mean, yeah, that's true. And, if I could, I'm going to piggyback on Mark's thing there. He didn't just double down.
Yeah.
He triple, quadrupled down.
Yeah.
My guess, I'm quoting here, my guess as to when we would think it is safe for someone to essentially fall asleep and wake up at their destination, probably towards the end of next year. This is when I think it would be safe enough for that.
Mm-hmm.
Fall asleep and let the car drive from point to point unaided or unobserved. And he didn't say sometime soon. He didn't say, always be in control. This is essentially saying we have level 5 autonomy.
Right.
It'll be by the end of next year.
Yeah, but that's Elon time, right? So you got to double on that 30.
But that's exactly the point of the SEC ruling, is that Elon time, when you're a CEO, you can't just go out there and say random shit. Yeah, you just can't
promise
do that.
Product like that. Because, stocks and futures and things hinge around what the CEO says is going to happen.
Well, if he has a handler like he's supposed to, surely the handler knew about the podcast.
I don't think Elon has a handler.
Elon has no handler. Let's be clear. I mean, Robin Denholm is a complete figurehead and has nothing to do with, is not controlling Elon. Larry Ellison loves Elon's crap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so the two new people on the board that were supposed to like put the screws to Elon are more like, go dude, go be you.
If he has a handler, then Elon Musk is the equivalent of a greased pig running around a farm yard.
That's a vivid image. In my head
just think about that for a second.
Yeah,
I got a picture.
The same handler from the agency that does Trump's tweeting.
Oh God!
I don't think he has a handler. I think he occasionally has somebody who snatches the phone.
It just, here's the thing. I like Tesla. I like their cars, and I've been a supporter since they started. I honestly think that Tesla is at the point where Elon Musk is holding this company back and hurting them. That's my opinion.
I don't think they're at that point.
I mean, half of it is the Elon Love Fest hype, and then the other half is when he opens his mouth.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Paul. I'm the half and half. He's half helping because he pushes and pushes and pushes and pulls off amazingly incredible feats. He's half hurting because he lets himself go and says and does these things.
And he's getting media attention. I mean, like, ask 10 people on the street to name a car company CEO, and they're all going to say one name, and that's Elon. No one knows.
Bob Lutz.
But yeah, they're going to say Bob Lutz, and you ask them to mention an electric vehicle, and they're going to say Tesla.
Yeah.
All the more reason why, if you love this category of vehicle, if you love this kind of car, and if you love Tesla as a company, you want Elon Musk to just a little bit rein this shit in. Just a little bit. That's all.
Well, he's got meme review coming up.
Let's talk about something fun. I monitor. I participate in a bunch of different groups in Facebook and all over the place. And I saw something really cool and maybe somebody's already seen this, but this is it comes under the heading of car companies pay attention to the little things like this. Let me share this. Okay, so you can see, look at that. There's an EV charging port, and there's snow in there, for God's sakes. They were charging. It started snowing, and there. So what did this is Stephen Connick of the Chevy Bolt EV Owners Group on Facebook. Look at that little thing.
Oh my God, I want that.
He made a little thing that covers the charging. I'm sorry?
He made a thing to keep the snow out of your thingy?
The snow and the water out of your thingy. What a brilliant little idea.
Show title.
What's that? Keep your thingy out?
Keep the snow out of your thingy.
Oh, keep snow. I got it right there.
I am so what is that? Oh my God.
You can also pick up a knee pad from your local dollar store and cut a circle in it and use it in that way as well.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
I love that. But so this is the kind of thing that, like,
you'll never see an Escondido.
No, that's not going to be a problem there.
You know what? Don't make me come to Boulder and hurt you, because I will. Okay.
No, I'm just saying because it never snows there. That's why.
Yeah, there's no issue of snow getting in.
There's snow on Palomar right now, 20 miles outside.
Oh my God! At work, I have like an infinite, unending supply of foam. I could
you could do that.
Up. Yeah.
I just sell them on eBay.
I love these little solutions like that. I think it's brilliant, and may not be like the most horrible problem for everybody in the world, but it's a nice, neat, easy solution that you could make at home with a piece of foam,
From the dollar store.
From the dollar store, yeah. So very cool. Thanks to Stephen Connick of the Chevy Bolt EV Owners Group on Facebook for that. I appreciate that.
And next year's Bolt will, when you buy the cold weather package, will come with a piece of foam and an X-Acto knife.
And they'll sell you it for $150.
Yeah, in the accessories department.
Right. You have to buy the floor mats, and then you get the foam thing.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, Tony's got her next story about something. I'm gonna let Tony talk.
So
Tony wasn't ready. Should I go somewhere else?
No. What the hell happened here?
I don't know. Are you okay, Tony?
Sorry, I clicked the.
Are you having a breakdown?
I am. I clicked the link and I got some stupid. I don't know what the hell this is.
Yeah. Well, maybe I put a link to something in there.
So anyway, I know what the article was about. I just won't have any of the information in front of me right now. So it turns out that Amazon has made a $700 million cash infusion to Rivian. Is that for Rivian? Rivian?
I say Rivian.
Rivian.
Yeah, Rivian. The EV truck manufacturer that is setting up or currently operating out of the former Mitsubishi iMEV plant there in Bloomington Normal, just south of where we are. Thank you for sending me a new link. It's awesome.
You're welcome.
So
while Tony's clicking on that, I saw Rivian at the LA Auto Show, and both their vehicles are super impressive. They really give the impression of having their act together, knowing what they're going to do, and the vehicles are amazingly engineered.
And great vehicles, very, but dealers and distribution, right?
Right.
Yeah, they'll have to figure that out. And
are they going their own?
So that was just the big thing was last Friday, they announced the $700 million funding led by Amazon. And, so it becomes a question. I mean, honestly, did you guys know is how interested in EV technology is Amazon? This is the first I've heard.
Well, maybe they'll do their own delivery service and compete with UPS, since they already have a shit ton of stuff to deliver every day.
Right. Or I just saw this as one more revenue stream for Amazon and Jeff Bezos, to be honest.
Well, it also will save them a ton on fuel. Right now, they've got all those Amazon vans that they have leased out to small business owners.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, they already have a distribution network. You'll
Yep.
go to Whole Foods aisle 7 and buy
Yep.
your Rivian.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
put the powertrain underneath the van, and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe Amazon's angling for that. I don't know that would be the best thing for Rivian. These are going to be expensive vehicles. They start at 61 grand.
Right.
Yeah, but
Excuse me,
F-150 Lariat is 61 grand.
I
Yeah.
The van starts at 50.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And
But
as we've talked many times on this show, we've talked about the was it the Sprinter and the NE1000, was it Ford thing, whatever that was.
a Nissan NV2000.
Yeah, the Nissan NV2000. And we've talked about they're more expensive than their internal combustion engine counterparts, but we know that the companies, the fleets that are buying dozens of these are looking at the long-term numbers. They're looking at the 5-year return on investment, the 10-year return on investment. An electric
Operating and
vehicle.
maintenance costs are way less.
Exactly. I mean, what did we say once, that the planned maintenance on a Tesla is tires and wipers?
Pretty
And then
much.
if you fuel them at the depot, you don't have to pay for environmental certifications anymore. You don't have to
Mhm.
do the upkeep on the tanks and the oil.
And you can drive them indoors. I mean, a lot of people don't understand the ramifications of that. You can't drive a diesel vehicle in an enclosed space. But
Or
you can,
gasoline vehicle.
You can, but people die.
right. So yeah, I mean, the ability to drive these trucks and drive these vehicles into an enclosed space and not just totally choke people is huge. And that's what the bean counters and the bookkeepers are looking at. And I think the fleet market is going to just consume these electric trucks as fast as they can make them.
Drive it into the Whole Foods warehouse, aisle 7.
Yeah.
The robot loads the bed. Drive
Mhm.
out.
Well,
I like it.
when we talked about in the previous show on the Tesla Life, when we talked about the police station in Fremont that was getting a car, I was shocked by the amount of fuel that they were going to be saving every year. Like that. So delivery vehicles, how many times do you see the delivery van pull up, the driver hop out? Sometimes those vehicles are still running, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
But man, got to be a lot of fuel you could save by not running.
And they're stopping, start, stop. That's great for regen.
Yep.
They all go back to the same barn every night, so they can charge overnight. I mean, you may have to upgrade the parking facility where all these vehicles come to charge all at once overnight.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they can get a deal with the local utility to buy electricity at night when no one else is using it.
Yeah.
Right.
And most of these city-type urban delivery vehicles drive 100, 150 miles a day max, and then they go back. So
Didn't Amazon buy a couple of Tesla Power Packs?
Did they?
I don't.
For some of their operations, yes. Yeah.
Oh. I don't remember that.
Distribution centers.
I hate it when I forget things, but there you go.
So this picture of the Rivian, where the guy's sitting with his dog on sort of the side tailgate. What do we call that?
So
the midship step thing.
that is one of the coolest things that they engineered. This is
Yes.
this seat folds down, right? You can see where it is. It operates as a seat. That is a pass-through storage that goes all the way across the vehicle. So if you're going to put like skis or poles or tools or whatever that are very long, you've got a way to do it without even opening the door. It also functions as a step into the truck,
Right.
into the bed.
Or you can put your barbecue on it.
It's amazing, but it's these little, again, those little things that really that I love about somebody who thought about it. The SUV version of this thing is going to kill Land Rover. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to just shred Land Rover because it's an amazing car, 400 miles of range. It's gorgeous. And it's going to be way more fun to drive than a Land Rover. And it doesn't come with Land Rover's extensive repair and service issues.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper.
Legendary quality reputation.
Yeah, legendary poor quality.
Yeah. So I put the picture up so everyone can see what we're talking about here. This is a very nice looking truck.
Mm-hmm.
That is sharp.
Yeah.
And on top of it, Russell, it's cheaper than Land Rover.
Right? Way cheaper than a Land Rover. So let's see.
And you get a free dog if you buy it.
And well,
maybe the dog came from inside, and the guy was just letting him out.
Maybe Rivian stolen Tesla's dog mode.
Ooh.
Wait, we just have Casey Green's head right now. Oh, okay, there we go. Look, the whole
studio is racing.
What are we doing? Oh no,
the floor is rising.
Are you a James Bond villain? Are we being lured into your lair?
I'm not exactly sure what just happened.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, speaking of crazy, Consumer Reports, those known agitators, had published a report a couple of weeks ago about the e-scooter rideshare industry. And this has been sort of a bubbling up theme about how people are getting hurt on these little mobility scooters, the Lime scooters and Bird scooters that are all over the place. And people are hurting themselves on them. Consumer Reports found 1,500 scooter injuries across the country. And they also found out that a lot of hospitals don't track the injuries as coming from these shared mobility devices.
That's a great one for the doctor.
I'm honestly, I'm trying really hard to see a problem here, which isn't to say that anybody who rides these things and gets hurt doesn't deserve sympathy or whatnot, and that these things should be safe. But it's a scooter, and if I've ridden on them, if you do something dumb, for the most part, you can fall and get hurt. Dude, no.
I found a picture of their target demographics.
No.
Okay. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Warning on that.
For the record, there was a haunted house special effect.
Thank you.
An actual wound. Okay.
So, I mean, I get that, some states, California, for instance, says you're supposed to have a helmet on when you're on these things. And that's probably a good thing to avoid that injury that Tony just demonstrated. But in some ways, I think this is much ado about, this is sort of like millennial kicking, like, those damn millennials, here's those damn scooters. They're just all over the place. And again, where's the outrage for the tens of thousands of people that are killed by cars? Where's that outrage? Where's the outrage for all the other things that happen? No, I'm worried about 1,500 scooter injuries across the country.
Right.
Does anyone know how many people have actually died on one of those scooters?
A few.
But not I mean, there's been millions of rides.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And why did they die?
Because they're stupid.
No, because they got run over by a car.
Well, because they were riding it in an inappropriate manner, probably.
To Paul's point, it's natural selection.
Yes. Yes, Darwinism.
Look, my immensely fat ass could run over you on one of these scooters and you would not die. Okay. It just so. I'm a big fan of these devices. I'm not a big fan of the way all the companies have done business. Some of them have been much more responsible than others. And it's certainly a brand new thing that our dysfunctional government has yet to really kind of try to regulate sensibly. But that'll happen and we'll catch up with that. And these,
wasn't there a story of there's dozens of scooters in Lake Merritt in Oakland and similar?
No, really? Is there? I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even
imagine. It's a game for teenagers to go steal the scooters and throw them in the lake.
Toss them into the water.
I mean, and that's where, like, I hate the idea that these things are rotting away in the water because I hate that, like, Lake Merritt is being polluted by them. But I don't have any sympathy for the scooter companies. They need to secure their stuff. Yeah. I mean, I get it. Ooh, dockless. Yay. So somebody can take your scooter and toss it in a nearby lake for no reason.
Yeah.
This article written from one person's perspective who like hit a bump in the sidewalk and flipped over his handlebars.
Yeah.
And wasn't wearing a helmet. I'm like, okay, these things have tires, or not even tires, like wheels that are like 5 inches in diameter, and you're balancing on something that's like 6 inches wide. And your center of balance is well above the wheels. Yeah. What do you freaking expect?
It's natural selection. It's like, if you don't understand basic physics, that you hit a bump with a tiny wheel, you're going to go over the handlebars. You know.
Ouch.
So did Razor scooters sell out to these people? I noticed that like they've disappeared and it looked like they're back.
Now scooters are cool, right?
Yeah.
Because they got motors.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cool, how many people on the panel use Waze?
I use it.
I have, I use it, especially when
every
I'm
day.
in
Mark's
unfamiliar territory.
I don't need it. So I love Waze. I'm a huge Waze fan. You watch the show. You've heard me talk about Waze for years. I think it's a great app. But there's a problem with it. According to several different police departments, and most notably recently, the New York Police Department has demanded that Waze pull the functionality of the app that allows users to spotlight
Say that
police
there's a cop.
and to spotlight speed cameras.
Bullshit.
So they say that it's dangerous, that they are in a conflict. Waze is in a conflict with law enforcement because they shouldn't be marking these things. They shouldn't be marking drunk driving checkpoints. And I'm trying to figure out why the police need to operate in a covert manner.
They don't. They publish it on their own Twitter and website.
Sometimes they do. Yeah.
Right.
But sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't.
Well, because the police are not writing as many tickets and they're losing revenue.
Yeah.
Quite
It's
possibly.
all about dollars.
So yeah, the covert ones are a cash grab, and the published ones are just a safety op. And so if it's a safety op in your market, you're still safe because the drunk guy's still going to go out there anyway.
Well, I would argue the drunk one is different than the speeding traps.
Right.
Sure.
Would you not think that there's a difference there?
There's a huge difference.
So I would not have a
People who are
problem
drunk
with,
are not going to use Waze to get home, probably.
yeah, they can't
They're
use
too
Waze
drunk.
anyways.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I don't think they should be reporting on traffic stop for drunk driving area. I would agree with that. But the speeding ones, I think if the police publish them now, definitely Waze should be able to publish them.
And like the red light cameras, those are fixed and those are well-known locations. But if you're in an area you've never been, you know, hey, the locals know where they all are, but you may not. So,
but it is an out-of-town tax, Paul. That's exactly why they're there.
But here's the thing. So I'm using Waze. I'm in a place that I don't know about. Every time I drive through Arizona, which seems to be like the home of speed cameras, and it says speed camera ahead. What do I do? Because I
go through the yellow.
No. Or I consciously look down and make sure I'm not speeding.
right.
Yeah.
So how is that a bad thing?
Right.
How is that a bad thing? I mean, granted,
Well, they're not making the revenue because you slowed down.
Right. So
they're getting the effect they want, just not the revenue they want.
It's like those signs around airports, you know, radar patrolled by aircraft. So everybody goes, oh, there's a plane, I better slow down. And do you know how much it costs to catch people from an airplane with radar? like they can never make money doing that. And all they do is put up those signs around airports and people see a plane. They go, oh, that's a cop. I better slow down.
That's a cop and the entire police force in a 737.
Chief Wiggum there.
yeah, I mean, I get that that police associations are upset about this. I get that. But you know what? I don't care. They're going to be upset. That's fine. But this is not a danger. This is not something that undermines law enforcement. And the same people who would use it to escape law enforcement are going to do something else.
Well, you saw when they were trying to get people for flashing the headlights. Oh, hey, there's a cop ahead. Same thing. And that was thrown out.
Right. But the police associations are always going to fight this stuff because I get it. There's like it's a constant sort of push and pull. You know, we get radar, we get Waze. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
So cheers to Waze, and hopefully they will keep doing that.
So before we move on, Anders, who we know is from Amsterdam, posted in the chat, and I just looked it up. This is from April 2017 in PC World magazine. The French police cracked down on traffic information apps over terrorism concerns.
Oh, Jesus.
So it is illegal for smartphones and other GPS devices in France to warn of nearby fixed radars used to issue automatic penalties for speeding.
Because that helps terrorism?
I haven't
what they
read
say.
the entire article.
It
Sounds logical.
Equivalent to a national emergency.
If you say terrorism, then you can get away with
According
anything.
according to a notification filed with the European Commission, the new rule will help police searching for terrorists, organized criminals, escaped prisoners, and kidnappers to remain inconspicuous.
Oh my gosh.
Because
That's
they're
some
not speeding.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Right.
That's some bullshit.
that's all it is.
Automotive News reported something interesting. This is something that doesn't happen very often. There's this company called General Motors. Have you guys heard of them?
No.
Who?
I used to
So-
buy a couple of their products.
A while
Do they
back.
sell insurance? Is that little cartoon guy with the hat?
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
General.
the girl that works in a diner. I forget. Or is that the lizard one? I don't remember. I get them all confused. General Motors bought an autonomous driving startup called Cruise a while back.
Mhm.
And Cruise has been diligently doing what they do, which is outfitting GM
So are
cars.
they outfitting the Chevy Cruise with Cruise?
See,
They
I
canceled
was so
No.
thinking that. Why can they
No.
not
Because
pick
it's a
new
piece of
words?
shit and no one wants to drive it. My apologies to all you Cruise owners out there. I'm sorry.
Damn it. My apologies to Andrew.
all
He's not
12
from
of you.
Amsterdam. He's from Stockholm. So I'm sorry. I picked the wrong. I went to American
Get your
public
mic
school.
off.
I don't know my geography.
You don't know your Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know where. But
Jeez, don't. So, real cool. I mean, this isn't a big deal, other than to say that GM had budgeted $1 billion in 2018 for Cruise. Cruise only spent $728 million of that billion. How many times have we heard about any corporate division coming under budget by
Mhm.
25%?
yeah.
So were they being efficient or were they being curtailed?
They were
Yeah.
apparently being efficient.
Wow,
They
that's
were.
good.
Mary Barra said she attributed the lower expenses to, quote, incredibly good cost controls.
Oh, good.
And what I've heard about Cruise is,
That they didn't have to hire as many.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's now, will it show in the results? Will somebody else jump ahead of them or something? I don't know, but I think it's always interesting when somebody comes under budget and still.
Man, doesn't Cruz know the ultimate goal is that if you can't spend it, talk to the U.S. military to learn how to spend it.
Right.
Unaccounted for. Exactly.
Well, and that brings up the other point, right? If you don't spend the budget, what are you going to get next year? Well,
We're gonna reduce it.
GM has budgeted $1 billion in 2019 for Cruise's expenses. So they kept the same budget.
Mhm.
Ah,
Which, you know what? I have to give them kudos for that because, I want to take the Cruise half full kind of approach here. And I want to say that they're basically giving them $1 billion to say, you have this much money, whether you need it or not, but know that expense is not going to be an issue. So I would like to think that the $1 billion mark is them saying the purse strings are open. You do what you need to do. I would like to think that. I'm the drunk optimist at this point.
Well, good for you.
Bad name though, because anything car that has the name Cruise in it, just
Is lame. Yeah,
just
Right.
means garbage.
I wouldn't argue with that.
I can agree with that.
The favorite car of Hertz and other crappy rentals.
Oh, it's an awful car. So AAA confirmed something that everyone on this panel and everyone watching this show already knows. When it gets cold, EVs lose range.
Wait, you should have said every car.
Yes. Yeah, gas cars get less efficient when it's cold.
Fair enough. You're absolutely correct. I where was and AAA's announced the sky will be blue tomorrow.
It's the no shit Sherlock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on
that-
Mars, if the sky was blue instead of orange.
No, that's true. It could be. I mean, it is California. I don't really have anything other to say than yes, when it gets cold, efficiency in any kind of vehicle tends to decrease.
Just
You know,
business.
we talked about this on the
No, we didn't.
Our Life, wasn't it last week,
Yep.
Mark?
We did.
Yeah. And the one thing that I truly, really take issue with is that it says fell by an average of 41%.
Yeah.
Average. I could see an average of 20, maybe, with 40 on the high side. But how high was the high side if 41 was the average?
Some people didn't get out of their driveway, Tony.
Apparently.
I'm out of
Roll the
range,
windows down.
kids.
Or some
Set the
people
defrost
crank
on
the
high.
cabin heat 3
and they
hours.
drove 2
Exactly,
Out of the car.
exactly, Paul. They woke up at 3 a.m. to leave at 7, so the car ran for 4 hours at full heat.
With the cabin heater on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Windows
And,
open.
you know, I had to explain this to people at work. I mean, I hate to say this, but I have a woman at work who comes to me with like every negative EV story that she ever heard. She's like, well, I heard that this and this and this and this. And the problem is she's like the sweetest person. And then she comes to me, well, AAA says that EVs lose 40% of their turn. Okay. They didn't say what kind of driving they were doing. And I think it was Casey that pointed out, was it start and stop, start and stop, start and stop? Or was it constant, you know, maintaining a constant speed? How high was the cabin heat set to? Because that'll drain it. How heavily were you driving? You know, and there's so many variables that are not accounted for in this article. How can they come out and give a number but not back it up?
Because
Because they're
kid
AAA,
piece.
man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, it's like, duh. You know, like we can argue about the percentages, but yeah, okay, great. Vehicles are less efficient when it drops 20 degrees below zero.
Mhm.
Yeah. Geez, that's a big surprise.
And if you have an ICE conventional car that averages 30 miles per gallon, and in the winter, when it's 20 degrees outside, you drop by 6 miles per gallon. That's 40. That's right there, right? That's 40%.
20%, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's 20%. I can't do math.
That's okay.
But you
You're
know,
a Blackhawks fan.
oh, yeah, good point. I know enough to know they're up 4-2 over the Wings.
Oh,
The thing is, the difference is people don't take those things into consideration with gasoline cars.
Right.
It's like they just go to the gas station more often. They just pump
They go,
more
"Oh,
gas, and they don't
Shit,
even
I
think
had,
about it.
had to buy gas on Thursday instead of Friday this week. Wonder why.
They don't. I don't
They
even
don't
think they
even
wonder that. I think
Yeah.
they just do
Just
it.
do it.
Yeah.
okay. I want to share an image. Now the panel has an advantage over everybody watching. So I'm going to say, can anybody guess what this is? But the panel, go with me here on this. Okay. Give me a second. So look at this. This is interesting, right? What could that be? This is something related to cars. This is in fact a patent application from a major car company.
Is it a prism?
Look at that. That's weird, huh? Whoa.
Mm.
That's almost psychedelic. Wait. What?
Has it got Elon's name on it?
What is this? Well, let me give you a little what's that?
A
So
see-through A-pillar. That's kind of cool.
yeah, this is a patent application from Toyota for, quote, cloaking devices constructed from prisms and vehicles compromising the same.
I didn't cheat. I guessed prism.
This is a fucking cloaking device for a car. What are we,
Yeah.
Klingons? I love this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
see-through A-pillar would be a great thing.
Right?
Or an A-pillar with a video screen that shows you what's behind it.
it shows
Isn't
you
that
what's
what
there.
Audi's doing?
Less obstructed views, right? How super useful and wonderful would that be?
Mhm.
So
Right.
is that transparent aluminum right from the Star Trek movie?
Mhm.
If you got the transparent aluminum, you don't need the cloaking device.
Computer.
You know,
Computer.
I
Save
don't
the
know
wheels.
what's going on here. I mean, there's like 20 pages in this thing. Okay, and there's text. I think all the fun pictures are over, but yeah, I mean,
That's pretty
this
cool.
that is I love that. I love that. That's so weird, and yet there's a super practical aspect. I mean, how many cars have bad vision spots that might be corrected by being able to see through something solid?
All of the new ones.
Well, and display screens are so cheap. They could put a flexible display screen on the inside of the car and some kind of camera system on the outside of the car, and
Yeah, with
more blind spot.
with what GM and others have done with the surround view from the top, they could take that software and the camera input, and they can put it together and probably make it look like you're just looking through it to the outside.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, again, it's all about safety and saving lives and not killing other people too. So go figure. Very cool patent. And you know what, guys? That's all I got for this week.
What about
Did I forget something?
Yeah, recreational devices.
Did I forget your story?
Not my story. About Polaris?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm bored with that. I cut it.
Oh, okay.
Give us time to do some shout outs and go home. I should check in with my friend Mark One More Thing Coughlin.
I do have one more thing.
Yes.
And this is specifically for Tony and the show today.
Ooh. What is
there you go, Tony.
Oh, there we go. All-purpose knee pads.
That's all you need is the foam knee pad, and then you just cut a hole in the center after you line it up on your car, and you've got yourself an L2 plug.
Oh, I wasn't sure where you were going with the knee pads. Okay.
Ooh, that got dark really quick. Damn. Well, and I can't see, is there a price on there?
Deflector.
There's $6 for two.
$6 for two. So, yeah, I mean, take out a little loan, go to the Walmart, and
Right. I think that's the show title: all-purpose knee pads.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that Harbor Freight has those for like $4.
Or Home Depot.
Right.
Yep. You probably get them cheaper.
All-purpose knee pads, but that's a great idea. I mean, and it's probably the right kind of foam and all that. So, you have done that, Mark?
Yep, we've done that here. Yep.
Nice.
And use knee pads.
Knee pads. Yep.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah,
Shout out to Ian Graham from the WR EVA, who came up with the idea or found the idea. So, way to go, Ian.
Nice. Nicely done, Ian. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Nothing?
No,
me.
nothing.
Tony or Casey?
Yeah, we're doing shoutouts now, right?
I'm
Russell?
sorry?
Presenting Russell?
Oh, I'm presenting. Oh, you know what? You're just so cute, though. And you're so well lit. When you weren't that well lit, I didn't like to.
It didn't matter, yeah.
Yeah, now it's just like, he's cute.
Wow. Okay. And you thought I went dark.
Man, the show is going south quick.
Need the knee pads now.
I'm secure enough in my masculinity to acknowledge his rugged good looks. Okay, that's I don't have a problem with that. I'm sorry, Casey. Were you just a presenting issue, or did you have a news story you wanted to?
No.
You're good.
I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Moving Desk. Well, I'm going to start with you then, Casey. You want to do some shout outs so we can go home?
Yes, I wanted to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. I was able to change it from hybrid to just my name. That way it's more accurate. It's in the chat. YouTube.com/Casey Green.
Sweet.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Casey Green.
That's me.
Do we spell Casey Kacey?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Just so they don't go to CASCY.
Oh yeah, we don't want to give it to anybody else.
Probably porn or something.
Yeah,
Let's find out.
Tony's gonna be like, "Oh my god, it is porn." That might be the show title. Oh my god, it is porn. Oh, Guzik, help me out of this hole, please.
It reminds me when you talk about misdirection. There used to be, I think, 1-800-SOS Apple was their help number, and someone got 1-800-S0S Apple, and it was like a phone sex chat line, and all these people were calling for Apple tech support. Hey, baby, what do you want? I want my Mac to work. No specific shout outs this week, but my business, BoulderHC.com. If you're in the Colorado Rocky Mountain Front Range area, we fix and repair and sell hybrids and EVs.
And nobody better than Paul to take care of you for that. And he sells used hybrids and EVs.
Right.
So
just sold Lexus 400H about an hour ago.
Nice. Will you just find a motorcycle for me, please?
Not many used EV motorbikes around.
Well, that's probably a gross understatement. But if they're going to be anywhere, they're going to be in Boulder.
Although there is a Ducati shop like 300 yards from here. But
yeah, but they don't make anything electric yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
you could make one for you.
Not that I would mind having a gas Ducati, but because those are nice bikes. Anyway, Mark Conlon.
If you are currently watching this show and you have not subscribed, I want you to reach over and press the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. It helps the show out immensely. So please do that if you have not done that already.
Yeah.
As Casey likes to say, Casey's training me, ring the bell, baby, ring the bell.
That way you'll be notified of all future shows.
Chevy Cruise as a sponsor.
Yeah. Wait, let me see. Hold on. Yeah.
Any messages?
Mary Barr says no fucking way. Not after that bullshit. No. You're out of here, pal. But we're working on it.
So close to that.
We're working on it. Tony Schaefer, bring us home, baby.
Shout out, of course, to everyone in the chat room. Thank you for spending an hour of your time with us. And as always, I want to give shout outs. I want to make sure everyone knows that we're on Facebook at facebook.com/whatdrivesus. We are streaming our audio versions. I gotta make sure I get this right on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher. Is it? Well, I think they changed it. They don't call it iTunes anymore. They call it Apple
Podcast app. Excuse me. You are correct.
Stitcher, and if you drive a Tesla, you will be able to find us in your car on TuneIn.
So
I thought you were going to say the glove box.
No, that's where we keep our bag of weed.
In the front.
Yes.
So I would be a front.
Yeah, so you go to streaming and then you hit podcasts and you type in What Drives Us, and there we are.
See, now I don't think you should have to type it in. I think it should be once you go to streaming and podcast, it should just default.
Well, if more people would ring that bell, maybe we'd get there.
Maybe.
I don't think anybody at Tesla is going to work with us in that sense. You know what
Probably
I mean?
not.
Like,
you're right.
Well, I mean,
not after.
You're just not bashing Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
to think of what else. That's it. Oh, Flipboard. If you use Flipboard as your news aggregator, look for the What Drives Us magazine. Shout out to Philip Barclay, who does a great job every week of always throwing new articles in there. I think he and I are the main aggregators, the main people who are posting articles. And once again, I did this last week. I'm going to say it again. Danny Cooper, who's not on the show, but he is the backbone to keeping the WhatDrives.us site up and running. So shout out to Danny.
Who is Danny Cooper?
If you go to WhatDrives.us and you click the meet the...
Oh, he's there?
Yeah, he's still there.
No idea.
And that is like the stupidest, corniest picture of him I've ever seen.
I have to admit, I have no recollection of what picture I put up there of him.
Because oh my God, it is such... Oh my God, it's such a bad picture of him.
Rainbow afro.
That was no. That was from he was hangry as hell, and that was during one of the To Go Before conventions.
Yeah,
I think it was the first one.
But if I ever saw a picture of Danny Cooper that does not capture his personality, that is it.
Oh no, that is so like Danny's. He's a misunderstood man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe not. Come on, look at the picture of me. I mean, I look, and you look very. Whatever. We're not going to go there.
Whatever. Like somebody's grandmother.
I could share these pictures, but we're almost done.
No. So we'll let everyone go on a scavenger hunt.
Exactly. Whatdrives.us. If you want to see, click on Meet the Panel in the upper right, and you can meet the panel. There's little pictures and bios for everybody. Well, there's no bio for Paul Guzik because he is the international man of mystery.
Or me.
Yes. We'll have to work on that.
Yeah, we have to work on that. We need to get Casey on there too.
Mhm.
Come to think of it, because Casey is actually on the show now. Got to work on that.
Yeah.
So, my thanks to everybody in the chat room. As always, want to thank Michael Manring for the amazing theme music. Visit him at manthing.com. Visit us at social media all over the place. Oddly enough, we're usually at What Drives Us. So it's facebook.com/What Drives Us. We're at What Drives Us on Twitter. Super important. We would love your donations, your support on patreon.com/What Drives Us Show. That's patreon.com/What Drives Us Show. There for as little as $1 a month. That's less than 25 cents per show. You can support the show, and we need your help. Please go to patreon.com/What Drives Us Show. YouTube.com/What Drives Us is, of course, our main hub of fun. You can see all the reviews. Tony did some great work that is up there now. You can find out about the Kona EV and the Audi e-tron. So go check those out. And my thanks, as always, to the most amazing automotive panel in podcasting, Mr. Paul Guzik, Mr. Casey Green, Mr. Tony Schaefer, and Mr. Mark Coughlin. A round of applause, gentlemen. Well done. Thanks for the best chat room ever, everywhere. And tune in next week and find out what drives us. See you next week. Yay.
Stay safe. Use Waze.
Yeah. Turn Waze on and hit that report button, kids. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.